What's the deal? What's the deal, y'all? We back on the Patio PolitiCz.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's happening,
Sir
T?
Mac, what's up, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm in the space to be. I'm feeling electrified right now because it's a little bit more Leo energy in the room. You know what I'm saying? Just feeling gravy, feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Patio PolitiCz, y'all. Welcome. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, comment. You know what I'm saying? Let the conversation carry on in the comment section. But we got an episode for y'all today. We got an episode for y'all today. You know what I'm saying? Sweet on the eye and the ear.
Beautiful
Ooh-wee.
inside and out. Beautiful
Ooh-wee.
inside and out. The title for today's episode, we got the voice that echoes beauty.
Yes, the voice that echoes beauty.
The voice that echoes beauty, y'all.
Now that we done planted that seed, we're gonna let that go ahead and grow and fester inside your brain. We about to hit this theme real quick, and we gonna get into this episode because we want to share this lovely gift that we have with us, with you. So stay tuned right after this.
We hope you stay a while, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like, yeah. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. I said it's right for life. Come in with the shows that you like. We trying to be the best on the mic. DJ playing cuts that you like, yeah. It could be the start of your day, or maybe just the end of your night. But if you're rocking with us, Patio PolitiCz is gonna do you right. Oh, cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life, yeah. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. Cause it's right for life. Trying to be part of your life. We got whatever you like. Come on and just give us a try, yeah. We hope you stay a while.
We hope you stay a while, because if
do.
not, T, what's gonna happen to him?
Man, we're gonna take him out to the desert in the trunk.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we're gonna leave him out there. We might sing to him.
You might sing to him?
Might sing to him.
I ain't singing shit. You gotta pay for that.
Right.
Gotta pay for that. But man, we got a lovely guest here with us today.
Indeed.
Like I said, that Leo energy is running grand, is running strong right now. Singer, model. Everybody, welcome to the patio, Miss Candi Elaine.
Candi Elaine, y'all. Candi, welcome to the patio. You've been there before.
Yes, I have.
You've been there before, but today it's time to focus on you.
Yes. Show spotlight.
Man.
Show spotlight. How you feeling today? How's it going?
Good.
Yeah?
I'm good.
Feeling good? We're gonna make you feel great. We'll make you feel great today.
I love that.
Indeed. So usually with everybody that comes onto the patio, we got three special questions that we like to ask, just to dive into it just a little bit. We want to know, what is your passion in life? What is your purpose in life? And what is your pleasure in life? Yeah.
Passion, pleasure, and
Purpose, the 3 P's.
Passion in life is to really just live my most authentic life, being my most authentic self, and doing so through art, as a young creative. My pleasure in life is to just be happy. Literally, like I get pleasure out of just being filled with happiness with my family and my friends. Like, that's something that really does it for me. And passion, right? Passion it kind of goes along with purpose, as far as just being able to create what I want to create for myself, being able to tell a story about myself, being able to live in like my true authentic self, and however God want me to do so.
You definitely have the opportunity to do just that right here. We thank you for coming to the Patio PolitiCz.
Question.
Yeah, it resonates well, right?
Yeah.
Really well. So, who is Candi?
Who is Candi? Candi is a multifaceted woman. So I'm not someone that you can box in whatsoever. So I get this a lot. People look at me and be like, oh, she's probably super sweet. She's probably innocent. She's probably this. She's probably that. I'm probably none of those things that you think about me when you first meet me until you have a conversation with me. And then when you have a conversation with me, you realize that, damn, you're a lot of things. Like, you're a layered being. Like, you're funny. You are smart. You are calm. You can get rowdy. You know, you can be calm. You can be, you know, loving, caring, nurturing, all of these things in one. You can be creative. You could be an overthinker. So I'm just someone that can be boxed in, period. And just a beautiful soul, you know, got to put that out there.
Yeah, of course.
I want to ask a quick question because we go back as far as college, for those who don't know. But you know what? When I first met you, I didn't know about your creative side. We actually met under Black Student Union, I believe it was.
Yep.
And that was new. That's funny because I was back in school at that time when I met you, so I hadn't seen you in the years prior. But can you take us back to like when that creative spirit first came upon you?
The creative spirit first came upon me when I was 12. I remember the moment. I've always been one that likes to be in my own little world, so I always entertained myself. That's one thing like my siblings and my family have said about me, like, Candice, she don't really need to be around other people. She can entertain herself. And as a young girl, I didn't realize that I had this like imagination and that I actually could sing and that I actually could write and that I can do all these things. It was just fun. I thought I was just being a kid. But I had a childhood friend that heard me singing, like, just for fun. And I thought everybody could sing. I don't know why. I thought everybody could hit like the same notes that you hear on songs. But one of my childhood friends was like, "Oh, you can sing." And I'm like, "Really?"
She's like, "Can everybody?"
Like, can everybody? Like, what? And she's like, "No." Then she's like, "Okay, well, sing this, sing that." And this is in middle school. We ended up having an off-Broadway program that came to our school. And she literally forced me to audition for this Broadway program that came to the school. And that's when it awakened, like, oh my God, like, I actually enjoy this. So I learned my voice. I got vocal coaching during that time.
Wow.
Learned, you know, exactly how to properly use my voice. Learned how to be on a stage with other people and also be on a stage with myself because I had a solo. And how to follow direction and things of that sort. And then aside from like being in like the entertainment part of things, my mom and dad actually, like, I played the clarinet from like age 8 to 14, which most people don't even know. So I always had this inclination for music. And then throughout grade school, I was a part of like all of the plays. Like, I loved being in the plays. I loved being able to play my instrument. So it started at a very young age. But I would say 12 is when it all kind of connected. And I was like, okay, so you like to sing, you know how to sing, you know how to play instruments, you're not afraid to get on a stage in front of people, you know how to like perform in front of a crowd. Like, you actually got this. Like, this is something that this is cool. Like,
all
you
the
can
proper
do this.
ingredients.
Yeah. So that was that moment.
So you had this all along, all that time.
All this time.
I swear I knew you for some years. I did not know this about you. Because even, man, in college, I did not hear you sing.
And at that point, I wasn't. I did a lot of performing arts when I was a kid. But then once I got to college, I started focusing on my education, and I kind of put the things that I really, really enjoyed, that was really fun to me, on the back burner. Yeah. Because it was like, well, you got to go to school, you have to get an education, you have to work for corporate America. Like, I was trying to follow along with, you know, what the American dream is. Even though my mom was very supportive before I applied to colleges, she was like, why don't you go to a performing arts school or a music school or a theater school? And I didn't know much about it. I was like, can I even be anything going to a music school? Like, what do I do?
Like, do they exist?
Like what do I do after I go to school? So after just being in college and realizing like this school shit ain't really, it ain't really satisfying me. Like, I don't feel fulfilled with it.
It's not feeding your soul.
It's not feeding my soul. And most people don't know that I would spend time like in the house or in the car in my own room, like singing and writing and doing these things. Again, as a child, I did these things in my own space. So I kept it a secret. I always kept it a secret. I didn't know how to share it and be comfortable sharing my interests. If
you don't mind me asking, was there a particular event or something that occurred to you that made you want to keep that a secret? Because when I first heard you saying, it was like, who is this person? I'm like, I didn't know you, because you told me, you was like, I'm gonna go sing, and I think you had mentioned it was with Josh or something at Unplugged, and I was like, I didn't know you could sing like that.
Nobody knew. Nobody knew.
I'm like,
why keep something like that?
Why keep that a secret? Yeah.
I don't know. That is something that like I try to like process myself. I guess maybe I didn't see enough people doing it around me. Like my surroundings is like, higher education. Like my family, they are like straight by the book. Like you go to school, you get your education, you get your job, you have your family, things of that nature. So like that's what I saw. And then what I really wanted was contradicting what I saw. So I didn't know how to like tap into it and be comfortable.
Yeah, to be able to share.
To be able to share.
Know if it was the right thing.
Even though my family was very supportive.
Okay.
I guess I just didn't want to be the oddball. Like I just felt like it was different, or maybe I should be doing what you guys are doing.
Was it because like you felt like maybe you would stand out and you didn't actually want that, or? No,
I didn't mind. I never minded standing out.
Okay.
I guess I didn't have enough like feeding into the gift that I had.
Got you.
Versus what they were actually feeding into me.
So
they supported me, but I don't think I was getting nurtured enough in that where it's like, okay, this is what you're interested in.
Let's do this.
Let's like
100%.
really full blown make sure you're into this.
Got you.
Yeah.
So can I ask too then, within that gap of time that you were keeping it a secret, what was the event that took place, or what came to you? Was there an epiphany where you were like, I love this, I want to get back to this, I need this, or what was it that brought you back into it?
What brought me back into it was when I graduated from college. Like, I was not happy. I was not happy. Like, most people are like, oh, it's a celebration, you got your degree, you're gonna go do these things, and I'm just like, I actually don't even want this piece of paper. And I have no desire to work for anybody's company. And in that moment, like, I went into this like depressive state of like, damn, did you waste all your years like following a dream that wasn't really your dream? And I didn't want to live with that resentment, so I said, okay, let me open up a little bit more. And one of my sisters was just like, well, if this is what you like to do, just do it. Like, just do it. And she was like, just go for it. And during this time, when I started actually performing, because I didn't tell anybody that I knew how to sing, that had just recently met me. Like my childhood friends knew that, and my family knew that, and they would put me on to stuff. Like I was singing my siblings' weddings. Like they'd be like, well, you're going to sing here, you're going to sing at her birthday party, you're going to sing at this wedding. So they definitely did support it, but I don't know why I felt kind of out of place. But after I graduated from college, I was driving Lyft. And I remember my sister saying, like, if it's something you want to do, just do it. Like put yourself in the right places and then just like say what you know how to do and then just go forward. So I'm driving Lyft in Hollywood, and I was getting ready to stop driving, like turn off, log off or whatever. And I got one last ride from this like chick that literally went to go from one corner to the next. Like she parked her car on her street in Hollywood, and she was like, it's late, I don't want to walk up. I just want to Uber to
Makes
the front.
Sense.
And in that, she was like, I'm putting on this live music show, and one of my singers just like canceled on me. I gotta figure out how to do auditions and find somebody to replace them. And I'm just like, should I tell her? Yeah. I'm like, should I tell her I sing? I'm like, and then I hear my sister Tiffany Boy saying, just tell people what you do. And I was like, I sing. And she was like, for real? And I was like, okay, I know if I tell her I sing, she's gonna be like, sing right now, so I have to be prepared. And at that point, I had just did a wedding. Like a random friend of mine had put me on to a wedding, so I wasn't too afraid to sing because I had just sang.
Yeah, you just finished
a wedding. So I pulled over and I sang "Ribbon in the Sky" by Stevie Wonder because I just did it for the wedding. So I'm like, I know how to sing this song. And she's like, as I'm singing it, she's like, wow. And she's like, you're booked. Like, you're going to you're the addition. I'm like, this bitch is lying. Like, she ain't got no, because, you know, it's Hollywood. It's LA. People move out here and they tell you.
They talk a lot of talk.
They talk a lot of talk. And I'm from here, so I'm just like, I don't know. So anyway, she's just like, yeah, like, you're booked. I want you. I'm going to send you all the details for everything now. And I'm really thinking in my head, like, she's lying. Like, I don't think this is a real thing. And then she sends me the information for the Viper Room on Sunset.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I'm going to send you the event right now. And it had her face on it. It was like jazz night or whatever the case. And she was like, I'm emailing the guy now to, like, add you to the set list. I'm sending you the whole information on what you need to do, rehearsals and stuff. I'm just like, damn, just like that?
Yeah.
Just like that. Just by just being myself.
Yeah, just
saying what
opening
I do.
up.
Look at God.
And at this point, I think we had just graduated college. So my college friends that I spent a lot of time with, they didn't know that I had seen. They just knew that I took school seriously. And I literally just started telling people, like, hey, so I got a show in like 2 weeks. I'm going to be singing.
What?
They're like, what? Where is this coming from?
That's actually like a perfect introduction, because it's just like for all your friends that didn't know that side of you, it's like, okay, I'm intrigued. How dare you, number one?
Right.
All this time, you ain't never said nothing. We ain't heard nothing. Like, we could have been doing this. And then, like, dope. I'm about to come and support that in NCC, what you all about. And then when they get there and it's just like, oh my gosh, she's actually good.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Like, what's going on? Why aren't you doing this more? Like,
and I had 30 people come out just on the strength of, like, we fuck with you, and you say you sing, like, we're coming to support you, whatever you got going on. And it was other singers there, and majority of the people that was in the venue came to see me.
Yeah.
And I was
How
just
did
like,
that feel?
I was just like, damn, girl, like, what's your problem? Like, why you haven't been, like, promoting this whole time? You have people that can and will support you. And it was on a Tuesday too. Like, it was a week. It was like at 8:00, and you know, it's hard to get from one place to the next during that time. And all my friends were working, my family was working, so people are really just like breaking their necks to get to the event. And so that's what recently sparked singing again, was being in a Lyft car, picking up somebody that was putting on the show, and then me just saying, like, I sing.
What did you sing at the show? Do you remember?
Yeah. I sang Sweetest Taboo by Sade. I did Don't Know Why by Norah Jones. I did He Loves Me by Jill Scott. And I did 2 Jill Scotts and 2 Sades. I also did Smooth Operator, and then I did The Way.
Live band?
Live band. Live band, yeah. And that was my first time, like, ever being on a stage where, like, all eyes are on me.
Yeah.
And everybody's just coming to see me, essentially. So I was like, what the hell am I doing? But I just went with it. I was like, just go with the flow.
Yeah, you here now.
She killed it.
You here now.
Oh, thank you.
You killed it.
You here now.
I had to learn the songs. Like, a lot of the songs, I was like, I had like 2 weeks to, like, get all my shit together.
I'm gonna let y'all know I was there, and she outsang the girl who actually ran the show. I know that's bold to say, but no, she did. It was like the whole night, everybody was just like, man, where did she come from?
Yeah, that was an interesting little situation with her.
Yeah, I see you said Sade and Jill Scott, you know what I'm saying? I want to tap into what influenced you, but we're going to go ahead and jump into that after we come for this break. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay these bills real quick on the Patio PolitiCz.
Shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah. We're going to be right back at y'all in just a little bit. Stay tuned.
More on the patio, y'all.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
What up,
Rock.
y'all? Back on the patio.
You rocking T?
I'm rocking,
You
man.
rocking Candy? You rocking Mac? Yes, I'm rocking. Yes, I have to talk to myself sometimes, make sure I'm in a straight line.
Yes, sir.
You know. But Sade, Jill Scott, your first memory of singing and just wanting to be in that atmosphere, what was it that you heard on the radio that had you singing along?
It was Sade.
Yeah.
It was Sade and it was Anita Baker.
Okay.
And my dad played them out. Like
Okay.
my dad would like clean up or like wash his car or water the grass and stuff like that. And he would always just have music playing.
So it was more than Saturday.
Yeah,
It was everyday music was on.
uh-huh.
Okay.
And my dad was the one that took me to school throughout grade school. So I
Okay.
spent a lot of time with my dad during grade school time. And I'm in a car with him, so I'm listening to whatever music he's listening to. And I loved Sade. I remember, I think it was like my 9th birthday. I asked for like the greatest, like the best of Sade. And my people were like, you're like a kid and you want Sade.
It's like, I want what I want.
I was like, yeah, I want that.
This music, yeah.
So yeah, it was just being around my dad and the type of music that he played. And I found myself being in my room and like playing these songs and like learning them and singing them inside of my room. And he had a Anita Baker CD too that I would steal and put in my little speaker box and learn the lyrics and stuff too. And then as far as like Jill Scott, I would steal my older sister's CDs and listen to Jill Scott and learn her songs. So the first song that I learned by Jill Scott was He Loves Me. Like I was a little kid. Oh my God, this is incredible. So it was cool to...
For context, I'm sorry, how old are we?
I'm like 9.
Ooh,
Oh,
what you know
little
about
girl.
that Jill Scott at
I'm a little
9?
kid. Around that age group.
Using them notes at 9?
Yeah, I was
Man.
listening to stuff I wasn't supposed to be listening to.
Now, did
okay?
you? I'm glad you said that. Did you understand what you were singing,
I
or were you
did.
just okay?
I absolutely did.
Okay.
Okay. In that heart and in that soul at an early age, I see it. Are we the only singer in the family, or
No.
Okay, who
Well,
else
in my
sings?
immediate family, my brother sings. My brother sings and he raps.
Okay.
And my maternal grandmother, she can sing
Okay.
like
You know it's serious when you throw that A in there. Replace that I with that A.
She can sing. Oh my gosh, like they call her Mother Williams in her church. And when she get up, put her hand on her hip, and she just gets to blowing. So yeah, my maternal grandmother sings. All of my uncles on my dad's side, they sing. Like they actually have a group.
Okay.
And they sing in the church. I don't think anybody even knows that, but like my uncles, they sing.
So it runs in the family then.
Yeah.
Okay.
They really can sing, and yeah.
So even with knowing that, it still took you a minute to go ahead and come on out. Like,
But those are like extended family.
yeah.
And
Okay.
my brother, he didn't start like really singing until like more recent. Like I knew my brother can sing, and we would like have like sing-offs with each other when we were kids, but it was just fun.
Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The clarinet. The clarinet.
I was just looking at my picture with my clarinet last night, which is crazy.
Why the clarinet of all instruments? And do you still play?
No, I don't play anymore.
Okay.
But I played the clarinet because one of my older sisters played the clarinet.
Okay.
And she was in the marching band, I think in middle school, high school, and in college. So it was like, well, your sister played the clarinet, so you gonna play the clarinet, one of those things.
Yeah.
Because I actually wanted to play the violin, but I got forced into the clarinet. And then I was like, oh, I actually like the way it sounds. Like, this is cool. I want to play the sax, but I never went that far. There was a gap in the things that I was doing during that time. I was like, I'm too good to be playing an instrument. I don't want to be a band geek. Like I was a wild child. That's what I forgot to say.
I had the same mindset as far as when it came to like instruments, because like at this time I'm on the east side going to school and everything. Shout outs to Markham Middle School.
Oh, you went to
And
Markham.
oh yeah,
Look at my mom
yeah,
there.
yeah. My band teacher was just like, well, my choir teacher was the band teacher too, and so he's like, you need to come join the band, and I'm like, you're not about to get me beat up. It's bad enough that I'm in this class. I'm not about to do it. Is there any other instrument that you have a desire of wanting to learn how to play?
The piano and the guitar. Like
Mm-hmm.
just those two.
Acoustic or just?
Acoustic.
Yeah.
Explaining the band geek thing. So I was actually in the band in middle school. I was in like the marching band.
Okay.
So I had to walk around with like this big ass fucking instrument case, and I hated it. It was so big. It was long, like this long. It was heavy, and I'm like still tiny.
Yeah.
So it's bigger than my arms, bigger than like basically my body.
So you had to like they had you guys in uniforms, and you had to, because the clarinet's the one you play sideways.
No, it's
down.
Okay. Yeah. The sideways is the flute.
Okay.
But I didn't like that. I didn't like having to like walk around with my instrument. And I went to Perry Middle School in Gardena. So they have this overpass.
Yeah.
The overpass is where like the band room was. And all of the cool kids was on the other side of campus, which is where I spent most of my time. So I used to be like, all right, see y'all later. I gotta go haul my instrument over this overpass.
You never used to leave it in the locker? I'm gonna come get you later.
We never used lockers.
No?
Yeah, we didn't get to use any lockers.
I was gonna say, did musical instruments even fit in lockers?
Some of them, depending on what you had. You know?
Yeah, no.
Either that or leave it in one of your favorite teacher's classrooms.
Yeah, everybody does that.
I would do that.
I come get it later. Like, it's gonna be okay in here, right?
Now I want to ask Candy, because since I've known you, you've always been a very family-oriented person and very big on bringing people together. Can you give us just a little background on your family? Because I know you got sisters.
Yeah.
And mom and dad are awesome, but for the folks at home.
So like just the whole family dynamic.
Yeah, like because I've noticed when I come to like anything that you and your family is doing, like everybody who comes already just feels a part.
Yeah.
And that's rare because you can't go to everybody's house and feel that way.
Yeah, so my parents have been married for 35 years, maybe 36 years.
Shout out to mom and pops.
I get the years right. But yes, my parents have been married my entire life, and I'm the youngest out of 5. So I have 4 sisters, I have 3 sisters and 1 brother that's right before me. Yeah, that's the family dynamic. But as far as like me wanting to bring people together and staying family oriented, my parents both had the mentality of like family is everything.
Yeah.
Family is everything. You love on one another. If you have friends, you treat them like family and you love on them too. So love was like a big thing that was taught to me as a child. Like I grew up in and around love. So for that, it's like whenever my friends are around, like they meet my family, and my family are like, okay, well, we love her, so if she's bringing you guys around, we love you guys too. And one thing about my family is if I do anything, like if I have a show, if I'm practicing for something, like they all show up. Like I just had a gig for Father's Day. On Father's Day, when we should be celebrating my father. My dad came, my mom came, my brother came.
So we'll make it a thing.
They was like, we're just gonna make it a thing. We'll just go to the brunch and see Candice sing, and the entire family came. My cousin came. Like
that's love, because you don't get that.
Yeah,
you don't get that. It's pulling teeth to get family members and stuff like that to be involved with you, especially when it's something that you love to do. Yeah. So that's special. That's rare. Yeah.
And I noticed your mom and dad love each other out loud. Like that. I don't say out loud, but I mean they love each other. Like every time I see your parents, it's like visual, and you don't see that in black folks.
Yeah, like my mom and dad, like they step. So like if any of us have like a birthday party at a club, they'll come to the club. And they do that little 2-step in the club with all the youngers around them. They don't care. They're like, we here to party
in
too.
their atmosphere.
But my parents, they met at a club. They met at some club in, I don't know, somewhere out here. So they know how to have a good time. They know how to like enjoy themselves and still like love on one another. So when I have anything or any of my siblings have anything, like my parents show up and they're like, we here for a good time too. What's up?
Yeah.
So
pulling back to the music, you mentioned songwriting. Knowing how to write. How did that come about? Like, what was that journey like for you?
That journey for me was, again, when I was younger, I had like this crazy, vivid like imagination. So I started off like writing little stories, and I loved reading books. So I guess that kind of helped with building my imagination.
Okay.
And in reading books, like I would go to sleep or like be daydreaming about things in my head. And I had a diary and I had like notebooks. I still have notebooks today. Like I have so many damn notebooks that I just casually write in. And I didn't know it was like songwriting. It was just like, oh, I just want to write about this. I want to talk about this, like as a kid. And then I had interest in poetry. So then I tried tried to do poems. I wouldn't say I tried to do poems. I did poems.
Yeah.
I did poems like as a young girl, but then I stopped. I stopped from high school up until college. So there was a big gap in where people didn't know that I did any of that stuff because I was focusing on school.
Yeah.
But
it was really like a personal hobby.
Yeah, but every now and again, like I would still do it, but I was so busy with everything else that I didn't really have time to focus on like tapping into that.
Was it therapeutic?
It was therapeutic. These days, it's not as therapeutic because I've lived some life. So I be like, I don't know if I want to write this down.
I mean, life imitates art, and it's at its best when you're doing it that way.
That's been my most recent struggle, is before having this like innocence to me where I can, create whatever I want to create in my head, or fantasize about love, or fantasize about things that I want to do with friends, or whatever the case may be. That came so much more easily as an innocent child that just had this crazy imagination. But these days, as I'm trying to write music, it's a little bit harder because it's tapping into vulnerability and like your feelings and emotions and all that stuff. And that's just a totally different.
And that's special. I encourage you to step into that a little bit more. Everybody's journey is different, but once you get there, you fall in love with yourself all over again in a way that you never thought that you could. Just coming from my aspect of being a singer/songwriter, like it brings so much joy. So I encourage you to move forward into that, a little bit more. Speaking of which, do we have anything on wax? Any music?
No, I don't.
All these years,
I don't. Because
have there been opportunities?
Yeah, there's been opportunities.
Okay.
I have some stuff, but I haven't finished them.
Got you.
Just because I'm an overthinker, you know how being a creative gets. So it's like, this could be so much better, or it's missing a piece here, and I'll jump on to the next project. So this year though, I've told myself like completion.
Yeah.
Is the goal. Execution and completion. It's good to start. Message. It's good to start. That's great. It's a great start. But now that more people are interested in asking me, do you have anything? I want to be like, yeah. I don't want to be like, oh no, I'm still working on stuff. Like that's whack.
Yeah.
So completion is the current goal that I'm.
It's a great.
And when it came to songwriting in the beginning, because you said you had like multiple books you were writing, right? So what were you drawn to write back then originally? Like what was it that inspired it? Because you said it wasn't like the life stresses. So
it was boys. I was a young girl.
You was writing fairy tale stories?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. Just
Songs
thinking
about
back.
Prince Charming and
always about a boy, about some boy. And
it's like you go from playing house on the playground and going home like.
Yeah. That's how it all started.
Yeah.
Like having crushes on like little boys, and I'm like, oh, he's so cute. I would love. I can see us. Like that.
So you wasn't rhyming or anything at that point. You was just.
I did try to rhyme though.
Okay.
I actually did try to rhyme.
Okay. How did that work out?
I knew that at least. Like, okay, well, like the end of your sentence needs to like have a word that's rhyming with what you said before. So, yeah.
So love.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different versions of it at different ages, but love songs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say love songs is your preference now, or?
I actually do. I do want to write love songs, but I haven't really experienced like really true like good love to inspire that. So I would have to tap into my imagination or like my fantasy or like what I desire, or maybe what I see my parents have, or what I grew up listening to.
Yeah. Or do you have to, I was going to ask you too, Mac, on that. Do you have to experience that kind of love to sing about it or to write?
I want that though.
I would say no, but at the same time, if you've been through it, like I told her, like be encouraged, step into it a little bit more, because when I take my experiences and I pour it into my music, it just creates a whole different atmosphere. You deliver it differently, you cater it differently, you sing it differently, you write about it differently. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more to play with, because it's like, how can I tell my story without fully pulling the curtain back. And then that's when the creative space gets in. Like, I'm to a point now, like, I started with poetry as well, and then I stopped writing poetry and I started writing raps, and I was like, well, I sing, maybe I should start writing songs. And so it's all about the journey and the message that you're looking to bring, but it opens up so much to play with and to be creative with. So it's like you fade a little bit into, well, I haven't been through this, but I've seen it and I understand it enough to tell somebody else about it.
Yeah.
And then you can mix in a little bit of you and then a little bit of what you don't know, you know what I'm saying, and just pull it all together. It's so much fun that you can have with it.
Man, but you know what? We're gonna tap into more of that. We're gonna take one quick break, y'all, because we gotta pay some bills.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back with more.
Yeah.
Candi Elaine, y'all.
Yeah.
A culmination of powerful properties that create balance and produce good energy. Cultivating a culture of mindfulness is a daily battle. We target your inner me. Physiological effects, change you can truly feel. Aesthetically pleasing on the surface, but handmade to help you heal.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
It don't feel right if I don't rock with it, you know what I'm saying?
Back on the patio,
now
y'all.
rocking with the Patio PolitiCz. Trouble T Mills in the house, and he's behaving himself very well.
What you call him?
Very well.
You say Trouble T Mills?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
yeah.
On the patio. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's on the last
She
panel.
said, "Oh
Yeah.
Lord, are you? Is that a facade? Are
What
you not
facade?
really trouble? Is that what's going on?"
Yeah, I mean, you know, y'all give me that name.
Candy-
Man, you know, I
Candy
speak
about to expose it all.
No, I don't know that side.
I was gonna say, she wouldn't know anything about Trouble T Mills.
Oh man. Oh.
You know, y'all see Trouble T when it's time to come out.
Oh, jeez. It's all good.
Mac, how you feeling?
I am all right. I am learning. I am in a learning space right now. It's good to be within same energy, same type of talents and things of that nature, to just get other aspects and perspectives and things of that nature. You know, I'm always a sponge, you know, seeing what I can receive, and I'm definitely receiving right now. You all right, Candy?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Doing all right.
Doing gravy, doing good. We're going to take a break on the music for just a smidget, because we're going to have to get back to it to see what the moves are moving forward.
Yeah.
But modeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not shy at all when it comes to the camera being in your face, things of that nature. How do we fall into it?
It's hit or miss with cameras. Like, knowing that a camera is recording me, I'll be like, oh snap, like a camera's on me.
Come on.
But if a camera
Really?
is snapping,
Yeah.
then that's different.
You got to hear the
Wait.
Yeah.
But you are an actress as well.
Yeah.
So you
I'm kind of fucked up in the head, but
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you know, I think all creatives still get butterflies, but
all the time.
But that's tapping into a character versus like a camera being on me and I'm just being myself.
so when you're modeling, you're just being yourself.
I'm stepping into like a sort of like an alter ego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where did that inspiration first get started? Because you've been, man, LA Fashion Week. I've seen you on
All
kinds of shows, and I'm just like, wow.
How did modeling become to be?
It became to be when I was like in my teens, actually. Cause I fit the criteria. Like, oh, you're slim, you're tall, you have a pretty face. So I was interested in that. But I loved being in front of the camera though. I loved taking pictures, even as a kid and getting older. So with modeling, it was just pretty much straightforward. As far as like, I want pictures taken of me. I want to promote stuff. Like I want to see my face promoting whatever. Okay? And I didn't mind doing runway. That was something that I grew to love, like being able to be in action. So the interesting thing about me is in intimate spaces, I'm a little nervous. But if it's like a lot of people, then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to ready to get into the groove. And I did pageants as well. I did pageants. I always did these little things that focused on like just me getting the spotlight, I guess you could say.
It's easier to focus on yourself when it's so many people? When it's too many people to focus on, so I'm just direct all that focus right here and just do my thing.
Not necessarily. I don't know how to explain it. Honestly, just don't know how to explain it. But I've enjoyed taking pictures. So that's where the whole modeling thing came from. But I struggled with that because I actually wasn't tall. So back during that time, even though modeling has changed over the years, like anybody can model any size, any height, any look. During that time that I was trying to model, like going to open calls and modeling agencies, I was short. I'm 5'7". I'm actually 5'6" and 3/4, but I just say 5'7" because who the hell is gonna get that specific? But I struggled with that because they're like, oh, you need to be taller. Like, we need to be at least 5'9". So I was like, well, F that. I'm gonna just start like finding modeling gigs on my own. Like, I'll just do this shit on my own. And I started like lying about my height, putting on like high ass 6-inch heels, going on casting calls, saying like I'm 5'9". We're gonna have to like really find out whether I'm 5'9" or not. And what's crazy is I went to one casting for LA Fashion Week, and they made us take off our heels. I was like, are y'all serious?
It's like,
And I'm like, like extending my body.
Get up, neck
I'm
get a
extending
little
my body.
Straight up, neck long.
And I ended up getting it. That was one of the LA Fashion Weeks that I did that I have on my page. It was really dope. It was a really fun experience. But I've always been a girly girl. Like, I loved makeup, always loved like getting dolled up. So that fell into the modeling thing. Yeah.
So do you have a particular favorite type of theme or shoot to do? Because I noticed you've done.
I love glam. I
Okay.
love glam. That's my thing. Like anything super glammed up. Now that I'm getting like older and I've always been comfortable in my skin, but even more comfortable in my skin. Like, I'm not ashamed to like show what I have. Who said that's a crime? I'm not doing nothing raunchy, but it's like, if I look good, then I look good.
Yeah,
Whatever.
y'all need to see this. Are the shirts getting printed up yet?
Oh, you.
Oh yeah,
man.
Are the shirts getting printed up
The
yet?
prints, man.
You know, it's in the process. I'm trying to figure out what look I want on the shirts.
So you weren't just talking then. This is something that you're actually looking
I'm
to
serious.
do. Okay.
I'm serious. I have some. So what we're talking about basically is, I've done some photo shoots, and the way that the pictures are cropped looks like art. Well, it is art actually, because I'm art.
Say that.
And it's dope to me, and it seems to be dope to others. And I feel like this can definitely go on a shirt, or this can go on a bag. Like, this is something that somebody can rock. So yeah, it's not just me cheesing in front of a camera. It's like body angles or like angles of my face.
Because you see those type of print shirts in like Old Navy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And I
saying?
have to
Stores
do
like
this shit.
that.
That's me.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely gonna do that for sure.
Righteous.
Now, when it comes to modeling, what do you see in the future on the horizon? Because I see that you've done, you know, not just LA Fashion Week, multiple different cities, multiple different photographers.
And different brands.
The concepts. Yeah, you did on the one on the piano and.
Oh, but I've actually been on some like websites over the years too. What I really want to do is I want to see my face in Times Square for like a big popular brand. That's something I really want to do. Preferably like a beauty brand. Something that's geared towards like skin or something glamorous, makeup, something of that sort. That's what I see myself doing. Like,
L'Oreal.
I do that.
I was about
Yeah.
to
Maybe it's
L'Oreal.
Maybelline.
Yeah.
Saying?
And even
So
clothes for, you know, petite women that have, you know, a little oomph, not too much oomph, but petite women that have little curves here and there that know how to like make outfits work for their bodies. So, yeah.
A woman of many talents. Many talents. If you had to pick and choose out of everything that garners your attention, what would it be? From modeling to acting, stage plays, singing, songwriting.
A mix up between like singing and modeling, but I think I can do both together because I can, you know, promote myself, basically, which essentially is like modeling for myself. But singing, like, I would love to tour like around the world. Like I love to travel, so if I can travel for work,
for
work and go to different places and meet different people, like that's an ultimate dream of mine. Is to travel around the world, meet different people, have people hear my voice, like just that full-blown experience is something I want to do. I'm not trying to be the next Beyonce. I don't want to be a mega star. I want to be someone that's comfortable, and like every now and again she's going to have a show where she's dropping a project. And I love those type of artists too. So that's something that is near and dear to me. And I told myself this year, because over the past couple of years I've been going through all types of crazy shit. So I told myself this year, being more intentional, being more authentically myself, actually sharing with the world what my interests are, and actually showing them what I do, because I am still kind of secretive too. So like if you know me, then you're like, oh, like she sings, she can dance, like she can model, she can
dance.
Okay. Yeah, dance is in there. Dance is in there too. I took dancing classes growing up as well. So like I do all of the artsy shit. That's been me.
Hip hop.
I was gonna say too, because you
ballet, or
you didn't inform the folks that you were also a very talented actress.
Oh, I said that.
Yeah, but you didn't know. But I'm saying, like, your films.
I haven't posted anything because again, I get weird with like watching myself in front of the camera. I could be in front of the camera, but then that like rewatching myself, which I've heard a lot of actors,
a lot of creators are like that.
Are like that. So I'm trying to figure out how to move around that space of.
I mean, you're always going to critique yourself because you want to be the best version of yourself.
And that's what it is.
What I'm saying? And I feel you, because sometimes I just be like, I don't know what y'all saw, but all right, let's rock with it then.
Yeah.
But it's for everybody else at the same time to see. You know what I'm saying? Not really to.
Because it's for everybody else.
Yeah, it's entertainment. You know?
I'm super critical. I would say that I'm a super critical person, and so I'm being more intentional on like getting out of my head and like being open, exposing myself more, and actually just like being comfortable in that. I don't know where that apprehensiveness came from. I don't know, but as of today. And like more recently, I've noticed that that's a thing that I have, and like just moving around it. Yeah.
I mean, you're always gonna have a room there. You know, as long as you know that, and it could be your safe place. You know what I'm saying, where you just go and retreat back to and collect yourself and bring it all back together. But as long as you step out and put it on display, because a gift is a gift, and a gift is to be given and shared. Not to be kept with oneself. So. I'm gonna keep saying it continuously, like give it. There's somebody out there that needs it, and you'll never know if you never share it.
That's true.
Change people's life, It's special.
And it may not even be on a stage. It may just be like old girl who was in the Uber. That whole show, like I said, you blew everybody else out of the water, but that could have inspired her even more.
Yeah, I hope she's doing good too. Shout out to her. I don't even remember her name.
Yeah, that was a great show. Now you sang on other stages as well too. I saw you sang in New York.
I did.
How was that for you?
It was great, actually. I almost moved to New York because I was like, oh, y'all show love out here. Y'all got energy. But yeah, I sang at this place called Ashford and Simpson, which was great. I actually still stay in contact with the people there, and I did it for the first time in 2019. And like the people were great; they're very personable. And then the other spot I went to was Cafe Y. So for anybody that's looking for live music in New York, promoting them.
In New York.
But yeah, that was a great experience. What happened was I had just lost my job due to a performance that I had, and no one knew that. So this is actually, I don't even think you knew. I don't know if I told you. But I had a performance in like Koreatown out here, and I was working a regular job, like a 9-to-5 job, and I had told my boss like ahead of time, like I didn't tell her exactly what I was doing, but I was like, hey, I'm gonna need this time off. And it was like a remote job too, where you can work from home, you can like make up your hours at home and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, it'll be like easy breezy, like she'll understand, because she's been like really like lenient every other time, or understanding every other time. And like for some reason this day she was not letting us. She was like, no, you cannot leave work early. I'm like, first of all, you can't tell me what I can't do.
Yeah.
We're not
Start
gonna
there.
play that.
Yeah.
But she's like, no, like you can't leave work early. And I'm like, oh, I have like other obligations. Like I have financial obligations, family obligations, and stuff like that. And I wasn't even trying to take the day off. I was just trying to be done with work by a certain time so I could make it.
Yeah. Sound check, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, literally just sound check. And like she gave me a hard ass time. Like we got into it over the phone. Like she called to make sure that I was in work, and I'm just like, now you pushing it, really pushing it. She just so happened to be out of town in Vegas on like a business trip and bothering me. I'm like, why you bothering me? Like I said I was coming to work, but I also told you I'm leaving at 4. Whether you approve that shit or not, I gave you like 2 weeks in advance notice. My other coworkers were like, we will work her hours for her, and she was like, rejecting it all.
So I know.
Okay, now
I told her no.
Now you fucking with me directly.
Yeah.
So
it's personal now.
Yeah, it's personal. And then she's calling my phone like, where are you? Like, are you at work? I'm like, yes, bitch, I'm at work. Like, why are you bothering me? So we end up getting into an argument while I'm sitting at my desk at work. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. Yeah. Like, because the conversation got so heated to where like, if she came back to work that next Monday and I was work that next Monday.
Hands.
Yeah.
Immediately.
So I was like, yeah, I got to get up out of here altogether. And I just packed my stuff up. And I got in a car. I called my mom. I was like, damn, I fucked up. All this other type of stuff. And I got a show today. And I was like, well, anyways, I just packed up my stuff. I just quit my job. And I'm about to head down to Koreatown for this show. Man. And all my friends and my family showed up. And at that point, so I was unemployed, and I was like, I'm not really feeling this like work stuff. Like work is getting in the way of me doing the things that feel good to me. It's getting in the way of me singing. I don't have the free time that I need. So I was like, I'm gonna just lay off of work for a minute. Yeah. And I had money saved up, so I was like, I'm cool. Like I just want to be me. And I was like, I'm going to New York. I'm just going to New York by myself because I just need a break. So I took a trip to New York, and I went to those places to sing by myself. Like I looked up places to go sing live, and I reached out to like some friends that I knew that live in New York, and they recommended those spots. So when I was mad, I was excited from the show that I did, but I was mad at like my job and things just not aligning. I was like, I'm just going to New York, and I'm gonna sing there and see how that work out.
They were aligning.
Wow.
And they really were. And
God.
New York is a big city like LA, and very known to be a very aggressive city, but I didn't feel any of that. I flew in, I did 2 different nights where I was singing completely by myself, and like everybody showed me love, and I still talk to them to this day. And I was like, well, damn, low-key, maybe I should move to New York. Maybe I should move here. And I did, and I ended up moving to Atlanta after that, like literally like the next week.
To do the same thing. As a matter of fact, hold that.
Yeah.
Hold that.
We're going to get into Atlanta.
Hold that. T, take us to commercial real quick, man.
We got to take one more quick break, y'all, here on the Patio PolitiCz with Candi Elaine. Shout out to our sponsors. More on the patio.
Yeah.
Be right back.
You trust me? Come here. I want to help you ease your anxiety if you allow me to. I think it's magical how kisses slow down time. I can make your spirit move at the pace of the earth when your lips meet mine. Life is so much better when you slow down. We're so in a rush just to go nowhere when the best place to be is right here.
You are now rocking with the Patio PolitiCz.
Yeah, we are back on the patio, y'all.
Are you mesmerized?
Am I mesmerized?
Yeah.
I'm chilling, brother.
I'm mesmerized. I was just seeing if I was by myself here, but I'll be by myself. I'll be by myself.
I'm enjoying it, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to ask you really quickly before we talk about Atlanta. You started off with a live band.
Yeah.
I know there's possibly been times where you've performed without a live band. Mm-hmm. How was that transition, and how did it make you feel?
So I don't like performing without a live band.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all, because it's a totally different feeling that you get.
Whole different energy.
It's crazy. Like, you just transform into this whole different like type of person. You feel it more, and you just really can get into your bag when it's like once you feel that vibration on whichever instrument, then you're like, oh yeah, it's time.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not a preference for me to like sing with a backtrack, but I will. But
the first time without it.
First time without it was weird.
Yeah.
Because I started off, like we had said, like with the live band. So I was like, okay. First I was nervous to do it because it was just like me jumping straight into it. But once the band started going, I was like, all right. Like,
showtime.
All right.
You know what? I want to ask both of y'all, but especially you, Candy, when it comes to that, I've heard that a lot of singers don't prefer bands.
And
so
that's wild.
So is it like...
That's wild.
Do you feel like people behind you supporting you, or is it... Because I've heard a lot of singers prefer the track because they know what's coming.
Yeah.
Versus like... I don't know. It usually seems to be the opposite. I'm not a music
person.
They're
not depending on like just like following the flow of the music. Because sometimes, like when you're performing, like everybody kind of get lost. And it's literally like you're just following along, like the
you're being led.
You're literally just being led. That's the crazy experience, that you're being led. So you can kind of like feel when they're gonna change up a sound or go higher, go lower, and then you can control it yourself too, like with your hand gestures, like really tell them to like go lower, speed it up, stop, whatever the case. So you actually have control. Over that.
It's wow. You're in sync with what's going on. Cause like for me personally, I'm gonna make it real quick. Like I was performing with live bands and didn't know that I was doing it, singing in church. You know what I'm saying? You don't look at it that way. And then when I had my first actual official performance where I was doing my own music and stuff like that, it was with a live band. So that energy and everything, it came to me. And then when I had to switch over to the other side, it was just like, okay, we got to tailor this to where I can still be in control. To where I'm performing with my track, but it's not my lead. A lot of people perform with their leads, and it's just like, what are you doing? Well, like now you're expecting people to know the words to your song, and you're on a superstar type level atmosphere where you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna stand here and let my track do all the work or whatever. It's like, nah, I'm about to perform.
The band do their thing.
Yeah. The only way I could do that is if I'm doing karaoke and it's just like, I'm about to tear it up. I'm about to tear this thing up. But yeah, it's just I didn't know I was doing the live band thing. And then I had to realize I've always been doing this. I just never paid attention to it because in church, you don't pay attention to that. Oh, I'm just leading this song, or I'm just singing with everybody else. And it's just like, nah, the band is where it's at.
Yep, that's what it is.
The band is where it's at.
Yeah.
Everybody that's been telling you that and they a singer, I don't want to say they ain't a singer, but
Well, I heard from others that they said like real singers sing with a band. So and because when you sang it unplugged, that was really the kicker of it, right? Like
that's when things really started like moving for me once I ended up doing unplugged. And they had a really great band too that I really enjoyed working with.
You know, I've noticed a pattern. It's with you sharing that story about the singing in Koreatown in New York. I remember before unplugged, both times you sang twice, didn't you?
I sang a few times.
Yeah, you said. Well, okay, I saw it twice, but I know each time that before you sang, and then also for those who don't know, before you did Peace Divided by Mind, each time you had something going on in your life, like that day or the day right before your big performance or when you was on set.
Some crazy shit.
It's always conflict.
You sang at Christmas, remember?
Yeah. Wait, which you talking about for Unplugged?
Unplugged, yeah.
Yeah.
When you sang Santa Baby, because you were hitting me up that day, like talking about things you had going.
It's always some wild shit like that happens to me right before a performance, which I also feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. Y'all irritated me with these like expectations that I don't want to like live up to, and then y'all just being weird. So Yeah. So with like thinking back to all of those instances where I had performances of any kind, whether I'm singing, whether I'm doing like when we did Piece Divided by Mine, I had some shit going on. I had some shit going on then too, but I still pushed through because I'm like, well, this is what I really want to do. Y'all just, I don't understand why it's like weird energy over here, but I'm not about to tap into that, and I'm not about to keep letting, you know, these things get in my way. And that was what was happening to me like the years prior. Was I was like subjecting myself or like leaning into like the things that, like the expectations of the jobs that I had.
Yeah.
I was like letting go of the things that brought me real joy just so that I can like stay on the job or like look good on the job. And as I got older, I was like, fuck that job.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I really want to do.
Yeah.
So what made you let go of New York and go ahead and move on to ATL?
I'll say, yeah.
So it was such a weird time right then and there, because I remember having such a great trip, like unexpectedly, because sometimes I just do shit.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm just.
I think that's a Leo thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
And on my flight back home, so I actually, when I went to New York, I had been talking about moving to Atlanta for years. So let me say that I was like, I love Atlanta. I'm gonna find my way to Atlanta. Like, I want to move to Atlanta. Y'all gonna see me in Atlanta. And then I went to New York and I had this great experience musically. And on my flight back home to LA, still unemployed during this time, I remember praying on the flight, and I was like, God, am I supposed to be in New York or am I supposed to be in Atlanta? Like, please tell me before I get home. Like, where am I supposed to be? Because New York was really, I felt something really great in my spirit. And when I had landed in LA, I landed at 1 a.m., went to my sister's house, and we had a family friend over that worked in Atlanta that I actually have been trying to get a job from for like 2 fucking years. And I'm like, nigga, I've been calling you telling me about you gonna get me into your job and stuff like that. And now you're here at my house, like here at my sister's house when I'm out of town. And now you're like, oh, I got a job available in Atlanta. I'm like, nigga, I just called you like 2 months ago, literally. But I was like, I'm taking it. Because at that point, what I also did was I was staying with my sister at the time, and I told her, this was 2019, I was staying with my sister at the time, and I told her, like, I'm not about to be staying with you majority of 2019. Yeah. I'm going to find my way to Atlanta. So I have to start there, actually. I was like, I'm going to move to Atlanta this year. I don't know how, I don't know when, but, like, this is going to be the year. So don't think that I'm going to be here for long. Yeah. And then the performance happened where I lost my job, and then I was out of work for a while. I went to New York, so I was just like trying to figure everything out. And I told my sister the month of July, like I was moving out. And I was going to stay with one of my best friends at the time. I was going to do like some crazy shit, like sleep on her couch for like a couple months. That's not crazy. This is when I got my bartending certificate that I just told him about.
You just told me about.
Told him about. So I was like, I'm going to get a bartending certificate, and I'm going to learn how to bartend, and then I'm going to just fly in Atlanta. I'm going to get like a bartending gig, and I'm going to find a place to stay. Like, that was in my head, like my crazy plan. All while the New York shit is happening, like that was my plan. I had packed my bags. Also, I packed my bags at my sister's house because I was getting ready to move with my friend once I got back from New York. So when I moved with my friend, stay with her for a couple months so that I could move to Atlanta. That was the plan. But instead, I arrived in LA with my bags already packed, and I had a job waiting for me. Yeah. In Atlanta. Okay. That included like pay and housing and stuff like that. So I was like, well, God, I just asked you where you want me to be.
Yeah, and you just answered. Was it involving music or?
It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't involving music. And I was so like this, I was so the dream, like, well, if you take on this job, like you'll have all the time to like go on your castings. Cause I wanted an agent. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get an agent so I can like get some like print work, some acting gigs. Figure out like how to maneuver around and like get singing gigs. So I had a whole plan, and this family friend knew that, and he was like, oh yeah, you'll be able to do all that with this job. You have all the time. So I moved because first of all, I was gonna move anyway. My bags was already packed. I moved in 3 days, and I had to send text messages out to my friends like, hey, by the way, I'm always doing some like crazy last minute shit, and people be rocking with me. So I'm like, hey,
I remember that.
I'm actually moving to Atlanta like next week, and like I'm doing a going away party in like 2 days. Yep. Can you make it? And niggas is like, wow, like, congrats, I know you always wanted to move to Atlanta, but damn, like, just like that? And I'm like,
Yeah, just like that.
And I had a really big going away party. Everybody showed up. It was really great. But made it to Atlanta, started working this job out in Atlanta that took all of my time, my mental peace, my emotional peace, my spiritual peace, which essentially led me back home.
Yeah, back to the roots.
Yeah, back to the roots, which basically was a time of enlightenment or awakening, really, to where it's like, you can't keep playing with this shit.
Yeah.
You can't keep like, I was trying to do stuff in Atlanta though. I want to be clear, I was trying to, but like I legitimately like could not. Like it was so many like blockages and blockers. I was just like, this is crazy. Like I came here, God sent me here. Like I prayed, He delivered. I'm here, and I had this plan. And every time I try to do something, like I just legitimately can't, for reasons that I won't speak on. But it was just a lot of things happening during that time that I was just trying to survive. I was in survival mode.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do shit that I came out there to do, that I intended on doing. I was just trying not to fucking lose my mind.
Yeah, He sent you there to get it out your
I was
system.
gonna say, because I remember talking to you, and I was like, you was singing, like,
Yeah, like, what
and I thought you was going
Everybody-
out there to Atlanta to sing, and so,
Yeah. So everything got put on like this crazy back burner, and I just went through life, like living life in another state. Mind you, he mentioned earlier, I'm very family oriented, and I'm with my friends.
Yeah.
I moved to Atlanta with no friends out there, no family out there. I'm just like, I'm gonna find my way. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
And so all of those elements were missing too.
Okay.
see, that happened for you though. That happened for you because sometimes, but look at, I've seen you come back with a renewed passion like I haven't seen you have before in undergrad.
Yeah.
And before I even knew that you sang, and I mean, you've been singing what, every week damn near.
Well, no, not every week, but yeah, I've been singing more.
You've been singing a lot. She's been singing a lot, y'all.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
Now that you back, acting, yes.
Yeah, so
Singing, yes. Modeling, yes.
The goal is to get back into those things. 'Cause
Okay.
I spent so much time just like surviving.
Yeah.
Then now it's like no more like even though I'm a very like confident person and do a lot of things and like do it with like gusto, I'm still like modest. So as an adult, I'm trying to get out of like my modesty. It's like, you got it, girl. Like just
Finding a
do
balance.
it. Yeah,
The balance is
finding a
important.
balance. I grew up in like a very humble home.
Yeah.
So I had to get out of my head as far as like, it's okay to promote yourself. It's okay to do these things. Like, it's okay. Like, this doesn't come off as like vanity or anything like that. Like, this is what you were here to do, and you feel good doing it, and you're not doing it to make anybody else feel any type of way. It's all about you.
Definitely.
It has everything to do with you.
I was gonna say, because when you perform, I noticed like there were times before when you didn't completely let go, and then I seen when you have let go in singing, so you do have that modesty in you. 'Cause
Yeah.
Even going back to undergrad, for those who don't know, you are a Capricorn queen, and even then you were still carrying yourself very modestly.
I was carrying myself modestly.
Yeah, you were.
Not modestly.
Yeah, you were.
If that's a word.
Yeah, you were very like even though I'm the queen, I'm not going to like show off everybody, but you carried it well.
Yeah.
And within your singing and everything else, I've noticed that. But what is that switch that allows you to kind of like let loose when you're singing? Like when I saw you sing in Hollywood recently, you let it go there.
Yeah.
And you sang the same song I had seen you sing before, and it was different.
Back to what I knew. I was like, all right.
It's like, I'm going to deliver it
again. Yeah. Honestly, just not being afraid. Like, I guess, like, over the years, I just was afraid to be me. For maybe I didn't realize that I cared about what people think, even though I didn't think that of myself. I was like, I don't care what nobody thinks. I do whatever I want to do, which essentially I do. Like, I do a lot of stuff, like, not last minute, but a lot of sporadic stuff for myself and unapologetically. So I had to have a conversation with myself, like, so why in these areas are you still like confidently doing things, but then when it comes to the true desires of your heart, you're like very modest, you're very closed. I'm like, yeah, I sing, or yeah, I model, yeah, I act. Like, no, you can say it confidently, promote yourself confidently without it coming off in a bad way. you know.
So with those out there in the atmosphere, watching, listening, that are afraid and don't know how to step out of that fear, what would you tell them? What gem would you leave them with to get them to move forward within their purpose and not be afraid?
Really just having a relationship with God, and I'm so serious about having a relationship with God. If you don't believe in anything, you better find something to believe in. Like, there's no way that we're all here just because.
Yeah.
So find something to believe in and like really tap into that. Really have those intimate conversations with yourself, and like really take the time to like peel layers back, like study yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm very introspective. That I would say that's a gift of mine. But a curse of mine with my introspection is like being a hard critic.
Too deep.
Yeah, too deep. I'd be like, damn, like now you beating yourself up, and this is supposed to be a moment.
In the same space, it's like, am I being too deep? Am I riding myself harder than what I actually am? Like, maybe I need to be where I am, you know, discovering.
Yeah.
Or allowing yourself to see yourself for who you truly are and accept that. And that is the greatness.
Is accepting who you really truly are. Because every time I try to do something else, some crazy shit always end up happening. Like I got stories for days.
Yeah.
Like just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I got some good bullshit stories for y'all. For real.
Yeah. It's the Patio PolitiCz. We here with Candi.
Man,
tell the people how they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Candi, that's CANDI .Elaine, ELAINE. Candi.Elaine, CANDI ELAINE.
All the projects is coming, all the pictures is coming, all the music is coming.
We cooking up.
Check her out, y'all.
Yeah. You want to give us a little bit of that voice before we get up out of here? Just a little bit.
Oh, no, you didn't.
You knew you had to feel it coming.
Really, you set me up.
I mean, maybe. You can say.
I just told you I'm modest and I'm kind of shy. You know.
It's all about moving forward, right?
So that's something I need to work on. Is like my go-to little song when somebody like sing something for me.
Just give me a run.
Oh Lord, I'm gonna fight you after this.
Oh, fight me. Chin is available.
What do I want to sing? A little snippet of.
I mean, shoot, vibe with the track that's on. It's there.
There's a song that I like by this artist named Cleo Soul, so I'll do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
The lyrics that I do know.
Yeah.
Which is like, it fits the moment. It's basically like, why don't you just let go and quiet down your ego? That's all I got for y'all. Y'all gotta pay for the rest of that shit. Hey, book me.
Okay.
And I will sing for y'all. But why don't you just let go and quiet down your ego? I feel like that's very in tune with what we've been talking about.
That was in your DM messages, right?
Yeah, I just posted that yesterday. Look up.
Yeah, full circle.
Okay.
Full circle.
I had to look for that one.
Shout outs to all of our sponsors. There you go. You got my mind just scrambled right now. Risque Accessories, Rob Naylor, No Bad Energy, Legato Collection, The G Luke Show, Creative Educare. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all like, subscribe, hit that notification bell on the Patio PolitiCz. This has been a great one. We appreciate you.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys.
Yeah.
This was really, really great. I want to thank everyone in this room, those that you can see and those that you don't see, for even asking me to be here. This is really like falling into alignment with all of the things that I manifested or like meditated on in my little room, my little box that I have, which was to like let people know who you are.
Yeah.
And it's something that I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, 2023, you're gonna be more authentically yourself. You're not gonna hold things back. You're gonna let people know who you are and not just hold those, safe, those very small, intimate spaces. Like, it's okay to let other people know who you are.
Definitely.
And then I get Jasmine that's like, oh, you want to do an interview? And I'm like, you know what, I actually do, because I've been making sure that I stick to the things that I said, which is letting you all
holding
know
yourself
who I am.
accountable.
Holding myself accountable,
That's a
and
blessing.
letting you all know who I am.
Yeah.
Because you guys didn't know my story. You guys just spoke with me, you know, just from coming through and working on projects. So I thank you guys for that. And I hope you guys enjoy part of my story and getting to know more of who I am.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Candi Elaine, y'all, on the
Learning,
patio.
learning. Hey, like I said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we gonna be up out of here like.
We hope you.
We don't do trends, we trendsetters.